Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to check the Jumper T18 Pro radio controller. In this video I'm going to go over its features and specs, point out the differences between its different variants and between this new radio controller and its predecessor the T16, and also between its stepbrother the Radiomaster TX16S. Finally, in the end of this video, I'm going to head outdoors and perform a quick range test where I'm going to test its internal 2.4 GHz antenna and compare it with the external one of the TX16S. First of all, in terms of packaging, the Jumper T18 comes inside a high-quality carrying case, and inside, along with the radio controller, you can find a USB Type-C cable, a Jumper branded neck strap, some spare gimbal parts, a foam sticker, and the 950 MHz radio antenna in case you have the Pro or normal versions, or a 2.4 GHz radio antenna in case you have the Lite version. As I just mentioned, the Jumper T18 is available in 3 versions, Lite, Normal and Pro, and the differences are described in the following table. Basically, the main differences between the Lite and other versions are that the Lite version is using a more simple black faceplate. It is using the older JP4-in-1 multi-protocol module, so it does not support FrSky R9 protocol, and it is using an external 2.4 GHz radio antenna. In addition, it's worth mentioning that just like the normal version, it features Hall sensor gimbals, and it is cheaper than the other versions and mainly intended for somebody who is already using an external radio module. As for the Pro version, the only difference are the gimbals, which are using an advanced RDC90 gimbal sensor, and they are made out of a different material. Finally, there is also a difference in terms of pricing, and the Lite version is the cheapest version out of these 3, and the Pro version is the most expensive one, and you can check out the links down below in order to check the current pricing of each model. Now let's go through the key features and specs of the Jumper T18 radio controller. First of all, on the center of the radio controller, you can find a high-quality 4.3-inch LCD screen with a resolution of 480 by 272. While the resolution and screen size are identical to the Jumper T16 and the Radiomaster TX16S, the screen of the Jumper T18 features IPS technology, which makes the colors richer and makes it easier to view the screen in different angles. You should note that unlike the TX16S, out of the box the Jumper T18 does not feature an integrated touch panel, but according to Jumper, once the OpenTX software is going to be ready, they're going to release a replaceable upgraded HD touchscreen with a resolution of 800 by 480. Next to the screen you can find the usual navigation buttons and a roller wheel, which is used for navigation between and setting up the different options. Next to the newly added 3-position neck strap balancer, you can find 2 power buttons. You can long press either one of them in order to turn on or off the radio controller, and you can press both of them simultaneously in order to quickly turn it off. On the center of the radio controller between the gimbals, you can find a cool looking speaker grill. Just like the Jumper T16, the T18 is using gimbals with a 3mm thread. The height of the stick ends is adjustable, and you can also quickly pull them in order to replace them with longer ones, which are later going to be released by Jumper. By the way, in case you are a pincher, I highly recommend to check this type of stick ends, as they are going to provide you with a much better and precise grip. In addition, the switch layout is identical to the Jumper T16. So on the top side of the radio controller you can find a momentary switch, 2 3-position switches, a 2-position switch. On the top side you can find 2 potentiometers, 4 3-position switches, a 6-position switch, and on the sides of the radio controller you can find these 2 dials. On the top side of the Jumper T18, next to the SMA antenna connector covered by a rubber protector, you can find a 3.5mm strainer port and a USB Type-C connector, which surprisingly, unlike the Jumper T16 Pro, is not used for internally charging the battery of the Jumper T18 and is only used for accessing its internal memory and the contents of the micro SD card, and for connecting the T18 to your computer in order to use it for flight simulators. On the back of the radio controller, you can find the foldable handle that was recently introduced on the upgraded version of the T16, a standard JR module bay which you can use for connecting external radio modules such as the TBS Crossfire, FrSky R9, and etc., and the battery compartment, which is identical in terms of dimensions to the Jumper T16. The position, however, of the module which holds the 2S balance connector and the micro SD card slot was changed, and now you are less likely to break it when taking apart the radio controller. You should note that the required 2 18650 lithium battery cells are not included, and also the Jumper provides you with a foam sticker which you can stick to the battery door in order to make sure that the battery case is going to be properly held in its position and not going to move around. In terms of weight, the T18 weighs 696.5 grams, not including a battery, so it is lighter than both T16 and Radiomaster TX16S. Now I'm going to show you the internal components of the T18, and just like the T16, in order to disassemble it, you will need to use a 2.5mm hex and a Phillips screwdriver. The first thing that you need to do before taking it apart is to disconnect the battery. Then I recommend to remove the gimbals in order to protect them. Using the 2.5mm hex, remove the 2 hex screws from the top side of the radio controller. Remove the side and back rubber covers. Place the front side of the radio controller on something soft, and remove the 6 Phillips screws from the back side of the radio controller. Now, by the way, in case you just want to adjust the tension of the gimbals, you can do so by just removing these back 2 rubber covers. Now we can carefully remove the back cover, and pay attention that in case you have the Pro or the normal versions, the 2.4 GHz antenna is going to be glued to the top side of the back cover, so make sure not to break it. Now we can adjust the tension of the gimbal springs by fastening or loosening these Phillips screws. Change between mode 2 to mode 1 by moving these metal bars to the other side, and by moving the spring of the Y-axis of this gimbal to the second one. Adjust the friction of the throttle axis using this screw, and if you'd like to feel clicks when moving the throttle, remove this plastic part. And by the way, Mr. Steele just released an excellent tutorial where he explains about adjusting the tension of the gimbals, so I highly recommend to watch it. Now, unlike the Jumper T16, which is using flat cables in order to connect its internal components, the T18 is using normal ones, which is great. And since I have the Pro version, on the center of my radio controller, you can find the JP 5-in-1 module, which now integrates the LoRa SX1276 transceiver, so it supports FrSky R9 protocol. The next thing that I've done is to test the internal 2.4 GHz antenna of the Jumper T18 and compare it with the external one of the Radiomaster TX16S. In order to perform the test, I first performed the frequency fine-tuning for both radio controllers, and then after placing both radio controllers at the same spot, I secured the iFlight Green Hornet, which is equipped with the FrSky XM Plus receiver, to my scooter, and drove until the point where I got a failsafe. As for the results, with the Jumper T18 I got to about 450 meters, and with the TX16S I got to about 520 meters. So pretty much as expected, this quick test shows that the external antenna is better than the internal one, but one test is not enough, and I'm going to post a more thorough range test soon, so stay tuned. As for the question that you're probably asking yourself, which radio controller should you get? Unfortunately, I don't have a definitive answer because I don't have enough experience using both radio controllers. Actually, only recently I've started using the TX16S, but so far I can tell you that I'm really pleased with it. So my suggestion, in case you're in the market for a new radio controller, is to look at the list of features and also the price, and decide for yourself what is more important for you. For example, the T18 has a better screen than the TX16S, and the TX16S features an internal battery charging, whereas it is not possible with the T18. In addition, you might prefer the look of the TX16S, or you might prefer the carbon fiber look of the T18. Maybe the JP 5-in-1 module of the T18 is exactly what you need, or maybe you prefer to go with the cheaper version of the TX16S, which you can get for around $100. So that's going to be it for my initial review of the Jumper T18 Pro. As always, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notifications bell if you're not already subscribed. See you on my next videos, and goodbye.